I've got to tell you, the campaign's going well. Reform UK has real momentum right across the country. The last opinion poll we saw was on Friday, and that put us at 20% for the first time above the Conservatives. The fourth poll in 3 days that put us in second place. Now, of course, I understand that Labour are some way ahead in the country, but we are the challenger now in much of the United Kingdom. So I'm very pleased with how it's going. Word of mouth is spreading. Social media is going crazy, but we're doing far too well for some. Now, when you get near the target, you start getting flack. I know that. I've fought many election campaigns before. And, you know, sometimes, okay, that's fine. That's what politics is, and we understand that. But when it's just not true, when it's dishonest, then I have a problem. And today's Mail on Sunday front page was just a disgrace. There in the copy, that President Zelensky had said that I was infected with Putinism. Well, it's just not true. What I did say to Nick Robinson on the BBC the other day was that, yes, 10 years ago, I'd predicted there'd be a war in Ukraine because I thought that Putin, a bad man, clever, but a bad man, would use EU and NATO expansion as a reason to say to his people, look, they're coming for us. We've got to go back the other way. Now, it's possible he'd have invaded Ukraine anyway. I don't know, but certainly we gave him a very good reason. I have never supported or been an ally of his administration in any way at all. I've never even been to Russia, frankly. But the truth of the story was that Zelensky had said nothing, that a BBC reporter had a quote, but that my name wasn't even in the quote. In fact, the BBC doubted the story so much, they didn't bother to run it themselves. But for the Mail on Sunday, this was enough to go on the front page. And I'm so angry about this sheer dishonesty, about a breach of the editor's code, that I've gone to Carter Ruck, we've instructed Carter Ruck, and they have written already to the Mail on Sunday. But not content with that, we then get a message this afternoon from the Daily Mail, who say to us that they, the Daily Mail, have been in touch with the Kremlin. Yes, that's right, the Daily Mail getting in touch with the Kremlin, and they say that someone who works with the Foreign Minister, Sergei Lavrov, described me as an ally. And they plan this to be the next big story tomorrow. Now, they know damn well I've never been an ally of the administration. I very much doubt the quote is even truthful, but that's what they intend to do. So the Mail, Daily Mail are colluding, collaborating with the Kremlin, but the Daily Mail are intending to put out Russian propaganda, if indeed that was the accurate quote. I doubt it very much indeed, given the condemnation that countries get for interfering publicly in other elections. I doubt it's true, but that is what the Mail are up to. Now, they're doing this to protect their friends, the dying Conservative Party, because that's what it is. It's dying. And they're in for the biggest electoral beating of their lives. And somehow, the owner of the Mail, Lord Rothermere, thinks that's my fault. It's not. They had destroyed themselves with 5 years of betrayal and broken promises. And what we're doing is giving many people hope. I noticed today, knocking on the doors, that many of our voters are people who've never voted in their lives or not voted for many, many years. And of course, I'm saying all this to you on the 8th anniversary of the referendum back in 2016. What the Mail are doing is utterly dishonest. It is election interference on a level that is extraordinary. But folks, it happened before. In 1924, 100 years ago, just 4 days before the October general election, the Daily Mail published something called the Zinoviev letter. And it purported to come from Bolshevik sources close to the Kremlin to say a deal with the Labour Party had been done that basically would foment revolution in the United Kingdom. The public believed it. And the Labour government, facing its second election of that year, went down to a huge landslide defeat. It later turned out that the Zinoviev letter was a forgery. It is the most disgraceful and dishonest political and journalistic act of the entire 20th century. And now the Daily Mail, 100 years on, are trying to do the same again. They're trying to stop Reform UK breaking through in big numbers into the British Parliament to give proper opposition to Keir Starmer, who's virtually certain of being Prime Minister. My advice to you is don't fall for it. I'm telling you, my prediction about what would happen in Ukraine regrettably turned out to be true. Don't buy the lies coming out from the Daily Mail.